Meeting to order tonight, if we can. Planning commission. Thanks, John. Zoning meeting, planning commission. Get the terminology correct.
And that will be coming around soon.
I know we've been pretty much inactive the last year or so, and we do need to start meeting again. On either a monthly basis or a quarterly basis. But, I would encourage all of you to familiarize yourself with your books. It's been a while since I've even looked through these. But everything is spelled out in these documents. So I don't know, does anyone have any questions tonight right off the get-go before I move on? That's what I think we'll try to accomplish tonight. Well, basically, the booklet's divided up into sections. Article 1 is it just goes over when these were adopted, and you'll notice in the front of the book is your glossary. It lists the articles individually. Article 1 being the basic provisions, and then 2 the zoning districts, and then Article 3 is residential zoning districts. And it spells out each one. You'll notice the ag, the R1, R2, R3, 4, 5, 6, and then the MP, and that is your
Mixed.
Is
it mixed? I don't know.
Mobile part.
Oh,
And then Article 4 is the commercial zoning district. So, and then each one of these articles, if you want to get into specifics, you can go to those. You can see how these are laid out. The basic provisions in the first one, and then again, repeating myself here, but Article 2 is the general zoning districts, and those you'll see here the ag, large lots, medium lots,
Land usage.
medium, old town residential,
John, land usage.
multifamily residential, the MP or the multifamily residential, and then the MP being the mobile home park, and then the special character commercial, and then so on and so forth. So see how these are laid out. So if you ever have questions, or someone ever has a question about a particular classification this book spells it out. And it goes on Article 3, the agricultural districts, and within that it will give you the specifics. In your ag district, minimum lot area of 1.5 acres, and then the minimum lot width and the maximum lot width, so on and so forth. Has the yard setbacks noted in here. And then it gives, if you'll notice over here on the minimum main floor area, it gives you your square footage requirements. And that's where, obviously if you're wanting to build a home, there are.
This is the same for all,
No.
it varies from,
Yeah, this is in the ag district.
okay,
And like I said, each one of these, and then you move to R1, which is a next district. You'll notice the minimum lot area is 45,000 square feet, so, that's less. But again, you see your setbacks, your minimum lot widths and your maximums, and then you notice your square foot area increases a little bit. It's 2,100 square feet.
That map Fred's referring to, it's in the front, it has the districts on there, so if somebody comes up and wants to build or do something in a certain area, you go there and it'll tell you what district it is, and then you just refer to this book, to that section, and then read the requirements. because they vary in different areas of town for this R1 and R2 different districts.
A lot of information. It really is, but, and of course it just goes ahead to R2. District. Again, it gives the intent and the permitted uses, and the special exception uses. R3. Mobile home district.
Fred, am I remembering this right, that all the R districts are residential, and they all are permitted uses for residential, and the special exceptions are other uses that can be built per that district?
I believe that's correct.
It's been a while since I read this, I read it and go through it anyways.
The special exceptions are permitted, but we can say, you can do this, but you need to do A, B, C, and D as conditions. So it gives us some control over it, like wanting to put in a church in a residential area, we're like, well, you need to have enough parking or something like that. As opposed to a variance where they're wanting to do something that's not permitted in that area.
I know, Andy, you mentioned previous meetings about Beck's Hybrids and their desire to.
They're applying for a variance for multifamily dwelling.
Okay, is that out there wanting to?
Yeah, their meeting is
March 1st, I
March
think.
1st, yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah, cause ag is single family dwelling.
yes. So they'll apply for a variance, okay. Now that March 1st meeting, that's with us?
It's Board of Zoning Appeals.
BZA.
Okay, BZA.
Yeah, they'll make that determination.
Okay,
One thing we need to address is membership of the Plan Commission. It's under 150.02 under land usage. Currently, our Plan Commission is made up of 9 members. The Town Council appoints 3 people who are members of town government, i.e. council members. The President of the Council appoints 4 citizen members who are not members of town government, no more than 2 of whom can be from the same political party. We also have the circuit court judge appoint 2 citizen members who reside in the unincorporated area over which we have jurisdiction. Now
Except they don't do that and they tell us to do it. They always have.
yeah, which basically we'll give them 2 names and that'll be their appointment.
Right.
You know, now this is from 74. The statute's been changed, but we can still operate under that. Or if we were to update it, the membership would be 7 members, with the legislative body appointing 3 people who are elected or municipal officials, and the executive appointing 4 citizen members, of whom no more than 2 may be of the same political party. So it cuts down to the 2 members that the circuit court technically should appoint.
Wouldn't you expand that out to your whole council though?
You could. Well, I need to.
Well, if,
You have to go by what the statute permits. You're only allowed to have 3. That's like in Cicero, they've got only 2 council members who are on the Plan Commission. Because this is one of those areas where if we toy with it now, we don't have as much freedom as we once did. It's spelled out in statute based upon what kind of community we are and what we're doing, what the membership roster has to be. We can stay with 9, or we can look at going to 7, and that would be up to you guys. I mean, the only difference for you would be we wouldn't be finding two more people from the unincorporated part to ask a judge to
So we
stand.
don't have to follow the updated statute?
When I read through this, if we're operating under an ordinance that was passed and adopted before that, we can continue to operate that way. And so this was adopted according to the code book in 1974. And this
That's our
was,
most current update as far as the town updating the ordinances, that's never been changed or anything?
Yeah.
No,
From
we
that
kept it the
original
same
74?
when we redid our,
That
in
stayed the same?
2000 or
Yeah.
2001.
now we've updated other areas, like if you go down the redevelopment commission, that's 89. But the membership and all that is from 74.
So if we had the 5, am I understanding you correctly?
3 from the board.
3 from the board.
And then 4 from the general public.
There's 2, so we would need 2 more.
Oh, so 3 of the 5 council members and then 2 additional public members. And then if we stay under the old one, then we need 4 additional public members, and we need to make certain we get some from the area that's outside of our municipal boundary.
So what would be the specific advantage for us to, or is there a specific advantage?
Well,
You
if
said
you
something about having more control over,
if you update it, then you get rid of the 2 people outside your municipal boundaries, and you don't have to deal with getting that name for the judge to rubber stamp.
okay.
Now, maybe those 2 people outside your municipal boundaries provide valuable insight. But based on some of our experience, it's a matter of we're having a hard enough time finding, the 7 people that we've got to have anyway.
Well, we've already got one, which is Alan, from outside of corporate limits. So
Okay.
that he'll be on, we don't have to have them reappointed through the court, do we? Every year or
It's
every
a
term?
4-year term.
So every 4-year term, he's gotta be reappointed through the
Yeah.
courts.
Now, if you went to the new law, could you choose in and out of town, or is it strictly limited to in town?
It is,
Or could you go all out of town if that's the only people you had that wanted to serve them? Or
you
does it
couldn't
say?
go if the city lacks either a park board or a civil engineer, or both,
I know under the old law, it says you have to have X amount outside the corporate, but in it
Yeah.
says this is the number of people.
in such a city or any town, the municipal plan commission consists of 7 members, as follows. 1, the municipal legislative body shall appoint 3 persons who must be elected or appointed municipal officials or employees in the municipal government as members. 2, the municipal executive shall appoint 4 citizen members, of whom no more than 2 may be of the same party. So it doesn't say anything about
In or out.
in or out. The way I read the current one, Andy could be appointed as one of those because he's a city employee.
Oh, no, talk to your dad. I'm the building commissioner. I
Yeah.
can't be on the plan commission.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Tony, add one more
I
thing.
served my, that's right.
Yeah, he's gonna
I
have
served
hats.
my term on the plan commission.
Normally you would think it'd be 3 council members who would be on that, and then 4 people who.
Now, can the council appoint 2 of the other council people?
We can do that, can't we? Even, it says no more
Yeah.
than 2 that are the same political party, so we could appoint the other 2. So we all 5 of us could be on there.
Well, not for the citizen members. A citizen member cannot be
This would be non.
elected or appointed official. They have to be someone who doesn't hold
It
office.
says that they can't be elected official, the 4 citizen.
Right.
We have to appoint.
And that's under both our old one and the updated one from state code.
So currently, we have 2 citizen members. And Alan,
And Alan's from outside corporate
that's
limits,
from
so
outside.
if we stay with the existing,
But then you have the political parties come into play.
Yeah, both of you guys are Republicans, correct?
Now,
Yeah, I switched. to-
when it says they don't have to be the same political
The
party,
Whig
You're the Whig.
you do not have to get, that doesn't mean you need 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats. You could have 2 Republicans, a Democrat, and if all you else can find is an independent, it can be an independent or a libertarian. It's just no more than 2 who happen to be from one party.
What if you can't find anybody?
The seats remain open.
Then they
Empty.
just not filled, unfilled.
Yeah, I mean, somebody here will call themselves a independent or libertarian if there's not enough Democrats.
What you registered, isn't it? What
Go-
you voted in
go
the
by
last
what you
primary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
We-
just it.
we-
What you voted in the last primary.
We haven't had a full commission for about 15 years.
Well, that's part of what makes me think it might be better to go to the 7-member commission. Because then you need 3
Hard enough. I know.
3 council members and then 4 general public. You're halfway home here. And then you just need to find 2 more, and
Without finding the other 2, is this board feel that obligation to have the majority of the board that is required to maintain the meetings, hold meetings?
you have 5, which means you can hold the meeting, but it means in order for anything to get approved, if you go with a 7-member board, you need 4 votes for anything. If you go with a 9-member board, you need 5 votes. So you would need unanimous, basically.
You need unanimous votes.
So if you have 7-member board, you gotta have 4 people at the meeting in order to even
Yeah.
conduct the meeting.
And then if you had a vote, it'd take everybody to be unanimous to
Yeah, because
majority rules.
it's a majority of the total members, not of the members who are present.
So if you go with 3, and then the 2 citizens members, that's your 5.
Right.
You're saying you need,
Still 2 more short.
You need 2 more.
you need 2 more. But you would need the 4 to
Which
have
would be
a,
legal planning
to
commission.
have a legal planning commission. With 3
Oh,
here
Yeah.
and the 2. They could-
That's if we went under 7.
Yeah.
You'd also need it if we go under 9. You just need everyone to agree on everything, or else you don't have official action. Because you need 5 votes out of 9 or 4 out of 7 for the action to be official. Because otherwise, it's continued. It's considered the planning commission didn't formally speak since it didn't have a majority.
So it
Majority,
sounds like
yeah.
7s are,
Because if 9, one person says, I don't do it.
yeah.
Well, do we have 2 people that we're aware of that are interested in this?
From a different party.
I mean, do you know of anybody that, got anybody in mind? How do you go about,
I mean,
finding somebody like that? I mean,
you could contact the Hamilton County Democratic Party or Libertarian Party.
Get a list of
And
the
then-
Yeah.
registered voters, and you can just contact the ones you think might be
Send them a
interested
letter.
or would come up and volunteer their time.
Yeah.
Or make mass mailing. Anybody out there interested?
Put
And-
some on the
We do like
warrant.
Abe did, just pick somebody walking down the street and tell them, come in, we gotta vote, we gotta make a meeting.
Give them a free drink.
He did that, I swear he did that, we had a meeting, we had to have a board meeting, there was a topic come up. And walking down the sidewalk, he called him in and called his daughter down so we could have a quorum and.
Well, I've got to double check because if you cannot find a member of the other party, I think they will now let you go ahead if you can show that you couldn't find someone to fulfill that. And so you might be able, if we can't come up with a Democrat or non-Republican to fill the other 2 seats, to appoint Republicans. I mean, at this level, the party distinction and the
It's silly.
It doesn't really matter.
County, I don't
Yeah.
think you're gonna get him to
Yeah.
sway or
No.
do anything different.
I'm a
Jody, You're a
Democrat.
Democrat, and so is Larry also?
Yeah.
He's a Republican.
The only other Democrat I know up here is Steve Dial. And I don't know that he wants anything to do with
He
it.
doesn't want anything to do with it. Are you kidding? That's why I'm sitting here.
Yeah, he wants as far away from this room as he can.
So if it's 3 people from the board, does it have to be the same 3 people at each meeting? Or can that vary so that
You're supposed to try to pick 3 people.
this and that those same people
Right.
go to each meeting? Okay.
Now, we can have alternates. So
Okay,
say,
that's what I meant.
yeah, one of you can't go, we can plug in an alternate, and that way we still have enough
Maybe
people.
Republicans.
Say if you
Oh, yeah, the alternate have to be the same party?
No, not for
No.
council members, it
Okay.
doesn't matter.
All right,
Yeah, not for that.
okay.
One is, if you're willing to be one of the members, there's at least one Democrat on the plan commission.
I guess I am.
Who wants to volunteer for the next one?
The next what?
Council member to be on the planning commission.
Oh,
So you guys can vote to nominate somebody.
Well, at least you get yourself a little break. I finally just got a message back from Aaron Starks. I thought he was gonna be here tonight to submit the replat. But Miller Surveying's doesn't have it ready yet. So,
Developer out here.
but it's coming. It's to replat the south end of it. I mean, basically they just want it back the same way as it was in Paul's original plat, but they need to replat it.
do we have copies of that
I'll
somewhere
nominate
here?
Fred to be on there.
Do we have,
Copies
Got
of
on
the
board
plat
for
or
you
how it
for
was
the
platted?
map,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah,
Stuff.
yeah, they're over there in the file cabinet.
Okay, cool.
Fred's been nominated. Is there a second?
Second?
There's two.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna eat Johnny, Fred. Get him right back.
Yeah.
Then someone else will second it. There's two.
I second that.
See how that works?
We can't.
That happened to Cicero just last week. Somebody said, "What does the redevelopment commission do?" Next thing, they nominate him to be
You willing to do it, John?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll do it. Another doesn't want to, I mean,
Yeah, we need
it's
you.
fine. I'll sit on there.
Okay. So John, Jody and I, for the three council members, Alan and Mila.
So you're gonna go with the new law?
I can come with an ordinance to the next meeting so we can adopt that.
Now,
We'll go with 7 versus 9.
probably be easier to keep the board filled
Yeah.
if we did.
Yeah.
Plus
I think
you
so.
can kinda
trouble on
get
the
away from
BZA to keep it.
Yeah, I
Now,
seen
who's on the
Kevin
BZA?
Monday, and he said there's three of you on there.
Need two more. They got 3 members now, isn't that right?
Yeah.
You, Todd, and,
And then Aaron, can
Kevin.
Yeah.
can Pam and Toby be alternates?
Yes, you can, and I'll include that in there that we have. They can serve as alternates if somebody's not there.
Is that acceptable to you two?
Yeah.
Okay.
And can they be alternates for any member that would be sitting on the board or just for the council member spots?
You can designate them for anyone who's on the board as an alternate.
So that
There
would
you
be
go.
better, so
That's
that
better,
we
yeah.
had,
Yeah, because we've run into that with the county BZA having a hard
Yeah.
time, and so we just pick somebody and they fill in for whoever's not there.
okay, so here's my next question then. We got these other positions we got to fill, right? If we can't fill them, can they be an alternate for a blank spot and then sit in on the, even though they're a council member, we're back to that they're an alternate for a position, and if those positions ain't filled, can they sit in place of the,
I would need to check. I'm checking right now.
we already been down this
Yeah.
road, and your dad already went over this
Yeah.
whole deal
yeah,
with
but
us.
with it being
I'm just-
updated, it might be, there may be some changes.
You're reaching.
Yeah, well, I mean, but it was updated, but it was updated in the late '80s.
Yeah.
So it's not been that recent. And I'm checking to see, because I think if you can't find members of other parties, you don't have to leave those seats idle. You can fill them
If it,
if you can't find somebody.
no. Not unless the law has changed since your dad gave us that decision about 10 years ago.
And that's why I just texted him to see
Yeah.
if that's still.
Yeah, because we used to have such a horrible time filling all the seats. We tried everything, and he was
Well,
like,
they've got to have voter rolls that you would think you could see who voted in which primary and ask.
You do. I mean, that's what we used to do, but
Why in the hell do
people
they care? We can't even fill the position, so why do they care who or how we fill them, as long as they're residents of the community?
They don't
Whether
care.
elected officials
The
or
law
not.
does.
The only reason this matters is
Democrat
if
or
we get,
Republican.
if we get sued and somebody's gonna say, well, this board wasn't properly constituted.
Why don't they just do away with that, or that statute?
They
and
should
let us
just get rid of
do
it,
at
yeah.
local level and determine how we do our own boards.
Well, I
You know,
think
mean,
between that and the fire territory, you've got your platform for state rep.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
run for state rep.
you Run the other damn direction, the only way I'm running.
Take a copy of that ordinance.
I'm crossing the county line, ain't looking back.
And we'll have to start calling you Mr. Pfeiffer from here on out.
Oh,
I had a guy
Paul.
call me, he walked up to me and said, "Are you Mr. Pfeiffer?" And I said, "No, you got the Pfeiffer part right, but they ain't no damn Mr.
It's in here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some horse named Ed.
The very beginning. Okay.
I'm just wondering if there's anybody out there, two people out there who are not aware that we need, 2 more reps. And, you know, if they know about
Put
it, they
something
might
on
be
the water
willing
bill?
to. Huh?
Put something on the water bill next time they go out?
Yeah,
On our
I mean, you know,
website.
A lot of people aren't even aware of maybe, you
That
know,
information page and that website,
I don't know if that's something you can
Facebook.
advertise or,
Facebook page.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah, you can advertise it
Social
and,
media.
and you can call and, like, you can call the county, the Democratic Party, and say, you got anyone up here who wants to serve on a board? And see, or if, I don't know if the county's got a Libertarian Party, but I know they've got a Democrat Party. Or if there's just someone who's an independent, they can serve too.
Now, you did state that they could be in town or out of town, right?
On the new board.
Oh, on the new one, they need to be in town.
No, wait a minute. If we go 7, then that, we lose Alan. Cause he's out.
He's out of town?
These are one that we do have from out of town that meets the old.
Makes no difference to me, I do either or.
It doesn't say they need
If
to
I
live in
can't,
town.
if I can't.
Yeah, it doesn't,
I think it would just be in our building jurisdiction, wouldn't it?
yeah, because this doesn't set, this is silent on that, so I'd say if you're within our territory of control, you should be okay.
Another thing I learned from your dad, the law's silent on it, you
Yeah.
can do what you want.
Loose construction. Yeah, so we've got 5 at least, we just need 2 more.
And we can conduct business
Yeah, with 4,
with a 7-member board, we can conduct business.
right.
So our 2 alternates, can they be at large and set in for anybody that is here that cannot,
The way the statute's written,
or just for the 4?
yes, the way the statute's written, if you designate an alternate, they can fill in for anyone, and it doesn't have to be a alternate non-council member or an alternate council member.
They can set in for any
Right.
member of the plan.
Because they wrote that because a lot of people were having the exact same problem we're talking about.
I just want to make sure that if one of us board members are not able to
Yeah.
attend, that they can sit in our spot being a council member. So, okay. That would,
Yeah, we've even got alternates, we just need 2 people, and then we're fully loaded.
former alternates are 2 people.
You know, I don't know many people in this town at all, but, judging from, her interest the other night at the tent fire, I don't know whether Princess would be interested in it or not. I mean, she's kind of in and out of what goes on a lot of times.
Pretty knowledgeable of that meeting.
Who's that?
So I don't know if she'd be interested in this.
Sherry, I guess, some sort I know about.
I mean, I don't know anybody else in town that's,
Well, let's look at the voter rolls, and a name might pop out at us. A name might pop out. Oh, I didn't even think of them, once we see the name on paper.
Pull that up.
I think so.
County website, you can
Oh,
look at.
okay, cool.
Registration.
Go to the registration tab.
Maybe that's if there's anybody we might know that
Well, Aaron, if you can proceed with that, that'd be great for the next meeting.
Yeah.
Just get legal.
And what judge, well, it doesn't matter, like you said, Aaron Allen's out of town now, going with the new one, so you don't have to have them appointed through.
Right, that eliminates that step entirely. So now it's all under our control. Technically, the three of you appointed by the council are the council, and Fred appoints the other four because you're the president. That's how it technically works.
Andy, you wanna talk about this, replat thing real quick?
Yeah.
Just kinda,
They're gonna be submitting it. It's the south end there.
Is that the original?
Yeah, well, it's Paul's, it's not Colonial Discount Homes. It's gonna be these 22 lots.
okay. Now, the Dollar General sits right there, yeah. Now, that's currently,
Well, he's
Zone
gonna change,
business, correct?
this is, he wants this changed back. This was residential. Paul had it changed commercial. They want this changed back to residential.
How many lots do they want through here, do you know?
All of
Does
it.
the Dollar General, well, how many's
Two
on
or
the Dollar
one?
General?
Huh?
How many
Two.
lots?
Every lot starting from the Dollar General
How
south.
many
Dollar
does-
General's 24?
24.
They're not 23?
Nope.
Okay.
they just own the one.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think there's, it's a lot and a half. It's 22. Oh, those.
So they're wanting 9 of these, or they're?
Yeah.
Nine lots to go from commercial to, back to residential. And these 4 over here, some
Stay the
say
same.
is commercial.
Yep.
They're going up fast with those houses out there.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
they are.
5 of them right now.
Is it five?
How does that affect the taxes on
6 under construction.
a
Is there
property,
6?
Yeah.
I missed
whether
one then,
it's
didn't I?
platted one way or another?
In various
It's-
areas. All 7 are
Toss
gone.
of the coin.
Okay,
You get a lot more tax revenue and everything off the business and everything.
right.
Yeah, but
But residential, I mean, they're sitting vacant and don't, you know.
Yeah, yeah, you're not getting anything off of
They're
vacant lots.
Yeah, so they're going as fast as they're selling them now.
But they're
the
selling
houses
them,
on
so
there. They get the houses on there, then we're gonna have, you know,
taxes
get
coming in.
revenue coming in off the residential properties, which I don't know if it's a great deal of difference. Some, you probably just depend on type of business and that
But you
type
can't,
of
I
thing.
mean, in the end, you really can't stop him.
No.
I mean, if he wants to be residential, he's gonna, I mean,
BZA can say, no, we ain't gonna switch it back since it's already on.
but he'll, he can go to court, he can sue you for it and say you're impeding his business because it was once residential.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
Yeah, the BZA has to have,
a reason.
make findings, and if they find that they all qualify, they've gotta say yes. They just, it can't be arbitrary. You know, but if you bring those in, it's gonna up your tax valuation, and that many new families opens up where someone might be wanting to
Let
move
me tell you
another.
what, if they, I wanna put this into perspective for everybody here. If they build this section out, which they wanna do the whole thing, but with what they just did in this right here, that is a 40% increase to our assessed evaluation. 40%. A 40% increase in the amount of tax money coming into this town.
Just let them set empty.
Sign 'em up.
Or we can let it sit empty and keep mowing it, and we'll
No.
park cars there at the festival.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, it's like, it's huge. And they've done these so fast,
Yeah, they have. They whipped them up.
and their sales are so good. I was talking to the superintendent today, because out of all the subdivision Arbor's working in, he said these lots are huge compared to all their other communities. I mean, you can go to Noblesville, they got one they're finishing now, it's 650 houses in that thing.
Well,
And
you
it'll
can
be
shake
done
your
at-
neighbor's hand out the window.
It'll be done at the end of this summer. But he said they're looking at another place in Kokomo, which isn't a guaranteed right now, but, that's why they wanna, Aaron wants to do this, because for them, it does I imagine he wants this because the sewer is in here. So he'll do the water in the street, which is less money out of pocket, and then he'll take the money from here to finish this. That's what he wants to do.
Is that what goes out from Michael Drive? The top part?
Yeah, Michael Drive would keep going.
Okay.
Yeah. It would go out and connect. And then, of course, it would all connect back to county line, so it'd be 2 inches off county line.
Okay.
Now, are they planning on filling that pond up, that, you know, that,
Filling
do you
it
have
up?
any idea?
do you mean?
I haven't been back there for a long time. It used to be
Huh?
They're still fishing that pond.
Yeah,
Up
there's
there.
storm drainage.
storm drainage, yeah, I call it pond for
Yeah,
that.
it is a
word,
pond.
yeah.
What do you mean fill it up?
Well,
Get rid of it?
is it filled now, or is there still?
You're talking about water, or what are you talking about?
Yeah, there's
it's
water in
Water
it.
year round.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, it's a pond.
That's why I asked you. Yeah.
Well, I thought you meant filling it up, like you talking about dirt or something.
Well, I was talking about just, you know, I didn't really know what it was to,
Yeah.
you know.
No,
They're
it's-
gonna put a fence around it for safety precaution.
They don't have to. They don't have to.
I think it's considered a retention pond, isn't it? Do
No matter what it's considered, you don't have to. In Indiana.
I know they were thinking of passing a law that they had to for a retention pond.
I know, there's not.
20 more people drowned all over the state, and then they'll change it, but you
It's
don't ever
double.
see a fence anyways.
It's double shelved. If you fall in the water, you ain't going in very deep. I mean, you'd have to go out there. I mean, the middle's deep. It's 28 feet deep in the middle.
Well, it's deep enough to drain.
But it
Yeah,
goes,
you can drown
the
in
top
2
part's
inches.
grass, it goes down into the water, and then it goes on out, and then it goes down again. Is how it's built. But in really, the way this is set up, it's kind of odd. I mean, all their property lines extend out into that pond. You know, I mean, that's, so it's partially owned. It's not, pond won't be for use of everybody in the subdivision. It's the people that buy a lot on the pond. It's
What's
not,
bringing them to Atlanta?
like a
Is it
public
the size
park.
of the lot, or
huh?
what's bringing them to Atlanta over Noblesville, or?
Size of the lot, price, and the fact, you know, there's 3 people out there now that have moved from Westfield because they say it's too congested in Westfield. I mean, 3 of those homeowners are from Westfield. I've met 3. The one I just met today when I was doing an inspection, they were out there at the house. And, they
I think school district.
built one there too. Or, I mean, because they were out by Grand Park.
Big school district, they don't want them, they want small.
It's actually cheaper up here than it is in.
No,
Westfield? Oh, yeah.
Of course, all the damn shootings and everything down south, and it's moving north, you know, so they're
It
going to
is.
out of India area, you know.
He said right now the only thing that's up this way is us and Sheridan.
Yeah,
As far as subdivisions, without having to buy a big piece of ground to build a house on.
next thing will be.
And like I said, out of theirs, if you go to Arbor's website, they've got several communities listed, and it shows the houses, plans that are available in each community. But out of all the communities, he said these lots are huge compared to everything else, and that's why, yeah, especially when people saw what they were getting.
Have a yard.
I mean, they sold 7 houses in less than 2 months.
instead of a house.
And he told me they've had
Mower and go around.
numerous people calling, wanting to build here, but now there's no lots available until they do that next chunk. I mean, at the rate they're going, if they get this together and everything gets approved and they get it done, I could see these 22 houses being built before the end of this year. I mean, really.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I mean,
That'd be real great.
they're moving out.
Are they putting sidewalk there?
Not in the covenants. I mean, it's not in the. I mean, that's one thing it'll do in the replat. It's not in there.
It'd be awesome if our assessed valuation
Went
grew
up by
enough to
40%.
and screw up the percentage as it gets divvied between us and the township.
Wouldn't that be funny?
That's right. What's under construction right now is $1 million worth of houses. It's just over $1 million. And our whole valuation here is like $12 million. We might even raise it by 50%.
Don't let.
The size of the houses.
All right. Let me forget to take this out.
So what, do we need to vote on to keep it, change it back to residential, or?
No, he's gonna come in, I think, with a plan and stuff next time. Andy's just kinda giving us a preview.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll
they're gonna be bringing a complete set of drawings, plans.
Yeah.
All the,
Okay.
Infrastructure, what's left to be put in, full set of prints to submit for the replat. I mean, this was already platted once, and there was an issue at the county at mapping and transfer, and they made them vacate this section and this section and replat it. It just never happened. So basically, they wanna put it right back the same way it was before.
I got a question for you, Andy, that maybe you can answer. One of their covenants, what I understand, when they build these homes, they're supposed to have a dusk to dawn light on the front of their garage for
No.
street lighting, is the way it was
Yard,
supposed.
yard light. It's a yard light.
Now,
all
is there
these
any
houses
way
are
that
getting
they can
yard
re-
light.
Is there any way they can require them to have street lighting put in the subdivision on those?
Well, they could, but you're gonna have a big section that don't have it. I mean, it's gonna be different than what,
Well, there's quite a bit more to go, and I had a complaint about that how dark it is, and that they were told that in the covenants, they were supposed to have a dusk to dawn light on their, front of their garage or whatever, and people don't, light it, there's no,
it's not the garage, it's a yard light. If you go out there, unless people let the bulbs burn out, all the houses out there have a yard light.
Wouldn't that be up to the association to enforce that then?
Yeah.
If it's in the covenants, then the association's usually
Yeah.
higher
so I don't.
Can we get a
understand
copy of
their
their covenant?
Association.
It's over
We,
there in the drawer.
we can, but we don't have any authority to enforce it.
No, but
Yeah.
just for information's sake.
Yeah,
the
cause it's
drawer
gotta
over
be
there.
recorded, so
It
that
is.
should be there.
How do
It's
you, how do you
recorded.
make
Yeah.
them, how do you make them have an association that enforces that out there since it's,
We can't. We have no authority over the
so what
association.
we approve here is all the authority we have, and once it's out of here, they can do
Right.
whatever they want, and if they don't have an association, they don't
no
wanna,
green
they don't
doors.
want
That's
lights, they
everything.
don't wanna do nothing.
That's,
Yeah.
BCA can't do anything about it?
No,
Cause the association is treated as a private contract, and you have to be a party to that contract, which we're not. The only people that can enforce it are somebody who lives out there who's upset about it. Or the board, if there's a
Developer.
functioning board, yeah, or
the
the
way it's
developer.
written, it's written as a developer.
Associations, you gotta pay yearly dues. If you don't
Yeah, and they got rules and regulations.
Yeah.
I didn't pay
I don't really agree with those homeowner
I don't either.
associations.
Yeah, I know why it
You
does.
know what
Kind
they
of a
say?
necessary evil.
They say,
I've seen some that.
don't move into the neighborhood if you don't agree with it.
If
Yeah.
the municipality would, have control of it, whether it was falling under their ordinances.
Most
but
people
now they do these
wanna live there
covenants.
for a reason, and they want those rules for a reason, so their neighbor isn't burning a couch in their front yard next to them, you
Some
know?
have moss grows on the
List of
house.
things.
Yeah.
Parking vehicles.
You know,
Oh, man, you'll see some of them, there's working, I mean, you can't park in your driveway at night unless it's for a short amount of time for people visiting. I mean, there's some that are
Some in Carmel.
super restricted.
some of them you have to have all your mailboxes the same
Can't have a
color.
boat in the
Oh, wow.
driveway.
Yeah, that's no.
Like everyone's got a black mailbox.
You know, I had a lady that lived
I
out
know.
there on
Have you
Morris
worked with
Reservoir,
Wyatt?
and
He's a pretty good
subdivisions.
guy.
Wyatt Johnson, yeah, I
Her
have. He actually did some work for the town.
landscape,
Okay.
flower, trees,
When we were
bushes,
building our wastewater
beautiful
plant, he
landscape.
did the lift
And she
station.
decided
Okay.
to put
Or, I mean,
in
a
raised
wastewater,
flower
I meant
beds around the
water
curve
plant.
of her driveway.
We had put a lift
Dump-
station
she had
in for a
contractor
discharge
come in there,
well.
dump
Our
dirt,
next
and
meeting
all
is
that.
all after us.
I worked with him on a private matter up there, and he was representing the builder, and then he was in front of Cicero's BZA.
He's a pretty nice guy.
Yeah,
When do we wanna meet next, folks? The 22nd? That's our second, board meeting in March.
Yes.
6 o'clock on the 22nd. March. Yep.
When is the, they still having their festival meetings on the, for the first meeting?
Should, yeah, we should probably,
They're gonna be in conference on the 8th. So it's probably gonna be April, the,
should be the first meeting.
first meeting in April, which will be the 12th of
Yeah.
April. 6 o'clock.
We'll start having those
Yep.
at 6 on the first meeting.
Yep,
12 years.
That sounds good.
April 12th will be the first festival.
What's the legalities about that? We pay Jackson Township taxes,
And now they ain't
Goes
gonna
forward
do
and,
but don't they still, aren't they still allowed to do that?
well, interlocal
Okay, we
agreements, but
adjourn.
no, they don't have to, they don't have to provide it. You don't
I
have
moved
to,
it.
I mean, you don't have to have a ALS.
Move that we meet during this meeting.
I make a movement, we adjourn the meeting.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.